want to, mention that, before we wrap up, that, the Bison logo that I'm wearing now, that it's not even a logo, it's an illustration. I stole it from my dad. Awesome. And just a little backstory. We were taking pictures, a friend of mine and I were taking pictures of bison up in the tallgrass prairie. And I sent these to my mom, just emailed them to my parents. And my mom said, well, your dad drew that bison, that pictures is down in the basement. And I'm like, well, send me a picture that I can, I remember that, but let me see it. So she sends me an email or text of it. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. I think I'll do a shirt for my dad's birthday. Yeah. Right. And so, they actually mailed me packed up the mauve matte,
awesome.
in the 80s frame that they did. But, and it was a charcoal illustration of a bison that my father had done in 1964. And they had been in Rapid City, South Dakota, and had seen some Native American art. And my dad said, I can do that, and he did. He pulled it off. And so this bison that had been, kind of on the periphery of my entire childhood, came back into my life. So I took a high-res photo of it, put it into vector art, and created a T-shirt of it, and just added Oklamerica to the bottom, and was going to make about a dozen of those for family and some close friends for his birthday. And out of the blue, I showed Carolyn at Flanagan's, and wasn't trying to get it put on shelves or anything. And she said, oh, I could sell those with my mini Tonka moccasins. Can you get this in charcoal? Can you get it in mauve? Can you get it in kind of clay color? Yeah. And I'm like, well, yeah. That'll help pay for my family shirt, right? And the coolest thing to me is that's now become equally as good of a seller and a desired, emblem of the brand as the original logo. Yeah. And since my dad has passed away from Alzheimer's, and so, but before he kind of lost his faculties, he was able to appreciate that and get to wear the shirt and the hats. And the coolest thing for me was to take him into the stores and say, this is your illustration, that people are buying because they love what you did. And so that's going to be my tie. So that's one of those things too that's going to keep me from shelving this and all that, is because now every sticker, coaster, T-shirt that I see with that on there, that I sell with that on there, is kind of a continuation of that legacy of the art. We kind of come full circle with, when did I start drawing, ever since I could hold a pencil. Yeah. And it's because of my dad. So, and he was smart enough to marry an Oklahoma girl. So there's the full circle tie-in for the This Is Oklahoma podcast.